Hello, and welcome to Shrink, the podcast for the mind. I'm Philippe and I talk to the people who want to have a better understanding of their issues with weight and body image. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the podcast. As I'm recording this, we're in mid-December, and this will be the last episode I record this year. And I wanted it to feel different, slower, softer, a bit like sitting down with a warm drink and a blanket, for example, rather than trying to learn or fix anything. Because honestly, a lot of us are tired, physically tired, emotionally tired, and even a bit world tired. It's been that kind of year, and also that kind of time in the world. There is a lot going on out there, a lot of noise, a lot of uncertainty, a lot of heaviness. And even if you're someone who tries to limit the news or social media, like I do, I try anyway, well, it still seeps in somehow. It's still there, it's in the background. So today I don't want to talk about doing better or eating better or coping better. I want to talk about being kinder. Maybe it's a bit cheesy, I don't know. But that's what I want to talk about being more empathetic, especially with ourselves. So this episode is an invitation to softness, not improvement. Because there is something about this time of year that can feel strangely intense. On the one hand, we are told it's meant to be cozy, joyful, festive, full of connection and sparkle. Some even call it the most beautiful time of the year. And on the other hand, many people feel overwhelmed, lonely, exhausted, or emotionally raw. And both can exist at the same time. I often see this with my clients, and maybe you recognize it too, this sense of, I should be feeling more grateful, I should be happier. Other people seem to be managing this better than I do. And then, very quietly, self-judgment creeps in. So let me say this very clearly. If you're feeling tired, flat, sensitive, or just a bit, done, nothing has gone wrong. End-of-year fatigue is not a personal failure. It's a very human response to months of stimulation, responsibility, emotional labor, and constant adaptation. And for many of us, this fatigue shows up through our bodies. When we're tired or overwhelmed, our eating patterns often change. Not because we're weak, or not because we lack willpower, but because the nervous system is doing its best to cope. You might notice more emotional eating, more mindless eating, or even less appetite, or the opposite, more grazing, more craving comfort foods. And again, none of this means you're doing it wrong. When life feels cold, dark, or heavy, the body looks for warmth, soothing, and safety. And then food can become a pause, a comfort, a moment of grounding, sometimes even the only moment of care in a busy day. So instead of asking yourself, why can't I control this? What if we gently asked, what is my body asking for right now? And sometimes the answer is really simple. It can be, I need rest. I need softness. I need less pressure. And this is where self-empathy becomes so important. Empathy is something we're often very good at offering others. But when it comes to ourselves, well, suddenly we become very strict managers. Imagine speaking to yourself the way you would speak to a close friend who said, I'm exhausted, I don't feel great in my body, I'm struggling a bit with food. You probably wouldn't say, well, you just need more discipline. You would more likely say something like, of course you're struggling. Look at everything you've been carrying. And that's the tone I'd love you to experiment with this season. Not motivational, not corrective, just kind. And kindness doesn't mean anything goes forever. It means meeting yourself where you are. Meeting yourself where you are. At this time of year especially, I'd love to introduce or reintroduce, because I spoke quite a lot about it before, the idea of protecting your body rather than controlling it. Protecting your body might look like eating regularly so your nervous system feels safer, choosing warm foods because it's cold and dark, going to bed earlier, even if your inner productivity coach protests and says, "Oh, come on, there's still that chore or that one to do." No, go to bed earlier. And then saying no to some conversations, gatherings, or content that feel too much. We so often feel obliged to attend every drink, every dinner, every conversation online or not online, and sometimes being able to say no is really helpful. And protection is not indulgence. Protection is care. And caring for your body doesn't require you to like it all the time. It just asks you to be treated as something worthy of respect. Even if you're frustrated with it, even if you feel disconnected from it, even if body image feels hard right now, just respect your body. That's respecting yourself, in fact. And let's be honest for a moment. Winter bodies are not summer bodies. Winter brains are not summer brains. This is not the season of I will reinvent myself and become a glowing morning person. It's not. This is more the season of I forgot why I walked into this room. I'm wearing 3 layers and I'm still cold. Is it too early for soup? No? Good. I'm gonna have some soup. And honestly, that's okay. Your job this winter is not to optimize yourself, it's to survive gently. There is less light outside right now. I went out for a coffee this morning, it was 8:30 or 9 o'clock, and it was so dark. Short days, long nights. And while we can change that, we can look for warmth elsewhere. Sometimes that warmth comes from a moment of connection, or shared love, a kind message, sitting quietly with yourself without trying to fix anything. And sometimes, and this is important, you are the source of warmth through how you speak to yourself, how you feed yourself, how you allow yourself to rest. Light doesn't always look like joy or positivity. Sometimes light looks like not being cruel to yourself on a hard day, being kind to yourself. I'd like to offer you a small reflection, no journaling required, unless you want to, of course. Just gently ask yourself, what has been heavy for me this year? Where have I been harder on myself than necessary? And what would protecting my body and mind look like over the next few weeks? There's no need for big answers. Even noticing is enough. And if the only thing you manage today is listening to this episode, well, that counts. As we come to the end of the year, I want you to know this. You don't need to earn rest. You don't need to deserve kindness. You don't need to fix yourself before taking care of yourself. You are allowed to close this year gently. If your relationship with food has felt messy, you're not alone. If your body image has been loud, you're not broken. And if you feel overwhelmed by the world, that makes sense. There is a lot going on out there. My hope for you is not that next year you become better, but that you become more compassionate with yourself. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for trusting me with these conversations. Take care of yourselves. Protect your bodies. Be kind to your nervous systems. And wherever you are right now, may you find a little warmth a little light, and a little softness within yourself and around you. I'll speak to you next year.